Hey, everybody. Happy May. Jeremy,
Hey,
hi.
hi.
Hey, guess what? It's a new month
It's it's a new month.
and
It's a
it's new
month.
energy,
It is.
and Mercury
Thank
retrograde is
goodness.
behind us.
Oh my God. That kicked my ass. How about you?
It did. You know, the first part I was like, oh, I can do this. This is good. I like Mercury retrograde. And then all of a sudden I was like, no, you can leave now. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
goodbye.
yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank
I got,
goodness that's over.
yeah. So let's touch everybody. Touch, let's touch everybody.
Let's touch everybody.
Can you
Hey
feel it?
everybody. Let's touch.
Let's touch base for everybody on what's going on here with the new energy of the month.
Yes, let's do.
It is the month of the Yin Earth Snake. So we're moving out of this big energy. You know, April was all about lots of dragon energy, it was
Mm,
yang energy, and now we're moving more into the snake is a yang creature,
mm.
but it's yin earth. And I think that's going to change the nature of this snake. What do you think?
It is. Because the snake is a fire creature and it loves to transform. It loves to feel that vitality, right? And fire does support earth, but last month was a yang earth, so it was extremely big, extremely heavy, extremely. Now with yin earth, I love to make the example of going to the beach and picking up the sand and watching it move
Mm-hmm.
through your fingers. It's a little bit more mutable than
Mm-hmm.
young earth. And snakes love to change. They love to transform. They love to shed their skin and do something new. So I think that this is going to be an interesting energy to witness for May.
I like that you said that because yin earth to me, like the sand, is not really stable, right? Those
Mm,
little grains they're kind of exist on their own, but then they exist as a collective energy. And
yeah,
it's constantly changing, whether it's the waves or the wind or somebody kicking it up with their feet or building a sandcastle, that it's malleable, it's changeable, it's not super stable. Like you're not going to go build a house on the sandy beach,
no,
without some serious digging and foundation work.
yeah,
And the snake is about, like you said, transformation and change. The snake is also a travel animal. And so, with
oh,
all
that's right,
this
yeah.
moving and shifting energy of this month, can we anticipate change? To
Mm,
me, the snake is about internal change,
mm,
kind of growing out of its skin and shedding what doesn't serve it anymore. So, to
yeah,
me, this feels like a maybe not a, like a an it could be unstable, it could feel unsettling, but it just feels like a lot of shifting and trying to get settled and anchored or being on the move,
yes,
because you're going to
I
be on
love
the
that.
move. You're a snake. You're going somewhere this month.
I am. I'm going to be traveling in May, and so and I have a snake in my year pillar. I was born the year of the snake, and what I've found in anyone who has a snake in their four pillar chart, transformation is a requirement. It's not a choice. Like you have to shed your skin. And a lot of times snakes are kind of placed into situations where they're having to change. So going along with the changes that come from the universe is so much more smooth of a path than resisting the change. And with earth energy, even though it's mutable, more moldable earth energy can be stubborn. So make the choice to make the choice to do the changes that are coming your way rather than resisting them because the transformation is going to happen with or without your consent. It's just going to
Yeah.
happen, right?
And if we're not being proactive in making those things happen in the way that they play out, then we're counting on the universe or somebody else to control how that plays out.
Yeah.
And then we don't sometimes it's uncomfortable as hell,
Oh yeah.
to have
Yeah.
to surrender to that and let that play out. I
Yep.
think the yin earth is going to soften the edge of the snake though. It's going to,
Mm.
it's coming in and kind of giving the snakes, I'm just feeling like the image I'm seeing is like a snake and it's really dusty in the air, right? The
Oh,
snake can't really see where to go or where to strike or who it's talking to. And so I think that dust just settling, allowing that to settle, it even mutes the colors of the snake, when
mm.
it's dusty. So it just feels like it's
Yeah.
muting the energy of the snake a little bit to me, which might be good for snake folk actually.
It might be because, when Snake goes into shadow, it's all about manipulation. And so
Mm,
we have to be really careful about not trying to get our way and not trying to manipulate the situation. What I like to do is I like to imagine, especially with this yin earth, have you ever seen like the trail of a snake in the sand and the trail that leaves, the impression that it leaves?
yeah.
Looking at that and as kind of a lesson, walking the path of the snake and just paying attention to snakes can't just move in a straight line. They have to kind of weave in and out to
Hmm.
propel themselves forward. So we might be on kind of an interesting journey in May.
Brilliant. I love that. So pig needs to be careful.
Yep.
If you have a pig
Pigs.
in your chart.
Yep. Tigers as well. They need to,
Tigers, pigs, and monkey.
yeah.
Those are the three that are really because I I ran the all the animals this morning, and out of 12 animals, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven of the animals don't get bothered by the snake.
Yeah.
And so that means all of the snake's interactions are doubling up or tripling up and hitting some of the animals hard, and that is the
Yeah.
tiger, monkey, and pig. So if you're a tiger, how here's the thing, a lot of that that fire energy from the snake is too much for the tiger. It's too unpredictable,
Hmm.
right? The tiger's trying to make a decision, and here's these firecrackers going off over here, or here's lightning strike. This is a distraction. So be
Yes.
careful of distractions. Be careful with your physical body.
Mm.
Monkey, look it. So here's without getting too deep into it, it depends on where the monkey is in your chart.
Yeah.
But assess as I say this, whoever comes to mind when I say this, that's who it needs to be. But there's somebody in your life, monkey, this month that you need to create space between you and
Mm.
them. You know who that is. Create physical,
Yes.
geographical, energetic space. They're going to need it. You're going to need it.
Hmm.
And then that pig, how do you, sometimes I have a hard time describing the pig snake clash. How do you describe that if you have a pig in your chart?
That is a really, really good question. So the way I envision the snake and the pig clash is snakes like to be coiled up in a bush somewhere. They like to be alone. They like to be solo. They like to be observing, life and kind of protecting itself. Pigs love to roll around in the mud with all of their kids and their parents, and they like the whole troop together. And they just want to live this luxurious life without necessarily paying attention to their surroundings. Whereas snakes are hyper aware of what's
Mm,
going on around them. They have to be. That's their
yeah.
defense mechanism, right? So I think that the clash is about awareness. I think it's
Mm,
about awareness.
I think you're right. It's just being like, read the room, right?
Pigs
You
have
got
a
the
harder time
signals.
reading the room sometimes, and the snake
Mm-hmm.
forces them to. Because the snake, if it's, if the pig is over rolling around in the mud and doing whatever it luxuriates to do, the snake is going to come out and
Mm-hmm.
discipline it and say,
Yeah.
no, you've got to get more serious. You've got to pay attention.
So the visual I got was the pig is like swimming in the pool with their friends and having a party, and they didn't, like, the snake is here to point out, like, you didn't read the signs. You can't be in here this hour.
No, and
It's
it's 2 a.m. Go to bed.
slow down, pig. You'll
Yeah.
have time the rest of the year, but this is the month where you really need to kind of like
Yep.
pull inward, yeah, and have some self-awareness and read the room. Okay, what's happened now? April was loaded
Oh
with
my
the
God.
Western's crap. What's going on in the Eastern stuff? Or what's going on in May with Western?
Well, well, there was some Eastern crap going on too. That's a lot of
Yes,
dragons
it's
flying through the air, right?
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, um, with Western world on May 7th, we've got the new moon in Taurus, and oh my gosh, this is such a really, really, really great moon to manifest under because
Hmm.
there's no negative aspects during this new moon. So, sky's the limit. The new moon is in the sign of Taurus at 18 degrees. So look at your natal chart to find 18 degrees Taurus
Hmm.
to find out where you can set new intentions. What house is illuminated by this energy? Now, remember, new moon is new intentions, new goals, new things to be doing for yourself to get yourself forward, moving forward. Taurus is the sign of money, personal possessions, and also values. What are some values that you're wanting to cultivate during the month of May? What are
Hmm.
some values that you want to let go of? You can do that during the full moon, but what are some things that we want to do? This is a great time during the new moon in Taurus is to set some money goals, set some financial goals for yourself. Think about those things.
Cool.
During the first part of May, we've got 5 planets in the sign of Taurus. Okay, and Taurus
Oh.
is Earth energy. It's very, very stubborn. So
Mm.
remember how we're talking about the yin snake. Make sure we're not trying to manipulate the situation to get our way.
Mm.
Allow ourselves to move through the sand, to leave that impression and to be more mutable and more
Mm.
pliable.
Wow.
Jupiter, the planet of good fortune and abundance, for the last year has been in the sign of Taurus, bringing good fortune and abundance to Taurus energy, which is money, finances, values. And it's shifting out of Taurus on May 20th into the sign of Gemini. Gemini is the sign of the twins. You got the good twin and the evil twin. You never know who's going to show up to the party, and then they could switch 10 minutes into the party. It's the sign of duality. It's also the sign of the mind and communication.
Hmm.
So, Geminis, if you've had a hard time over the last couple of years, this is your year. When Jupiter moves through the sign of Gemini, it will shower good fortune and abundance on all of those who have Gemini placements.
Hmm.
And it will stay there for a whole year. Um, Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, has been going through a major transformation over the last or major transition over the last year and a half. It's been yo-yoing between the sign of Aquarius and Capricorn. And
Hmm.
Pluto goes retrograde this month so that it can return back to the sign of Capricorn. And it's going to be doing that in from September to November 20th. Now, just a little bit of background. Capricorn is the sign of patriarchal energy, old government systems, structures and responsibilities. This is old traditions. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. It has to break something down in order to rebuild it. And it's going to be election season. While Pluto, it gives me goosebumps to even think about what's going to happen. So, everyone,
Wow.
anything can happen between now and November. We know we've got 2 candidates out there that represent the old. They represent old values on both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anything can happen between now and then. Now, if the 2 candidates are those people in November, we'll see what happens. However, shortly after that, November 20th, it moves back into the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of revolution, rebelliousness, and rising up. So it's going to be an interesting political cycle. And so all of that energy builds. It's starting to build now. And there's going to be a strong build until the election.
Interesting, because as you're talking about the election, it looks, I think it's the 4th of November is
I
election day
think
this
so.
year,
Hmm.
and that's a dog month
It
in a
is a dog
dragon
month.
year.
Yep.
The
And that's
clash.
they call that the year breaker, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. God, this stuff is so
Interesting.
cool.
And then May 23rd, we've got the full moon in Sagittarius. I love it when the full moon is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the sign of philosophy, religion, politics, and beliefs. So if you
Mm.
have any negative limiting beliefs, let that shit go. Sagittarius is the one that, if your friend comes into the room and says, "Do I look fat in that dress?" And the Sagittarius is going to say, "Yep, you look terrible in it." Throw it away. They're going to tell you the truth. They shoot from the hip. They're going to say the truth.
What
So
days are
release
those?
what?
When is that?
That's on May 23rd.
Okay.
So full moon in Sagittarius, if you got any limiting beliefs, let them go. If there's a belief system that you catered to throughout your life and it doesn't serve you anymore,
Mm.
start to deconstruct it. Let it go. If you're having difficulty with politics in any of your relationships, write it on a piece of paper and watch it burn. Let that discontentment go.
Great ideas. Oh my gosh. It just seems like there's just so much every month these days.
Yeah,
And I don't know if we're just sharing more or if that's the way things are happening,
yeah,
the last couple years. It just seems like a lot. But if it does feel like a lot to you, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
yeah.
Whether it's putting something in the comments like what are you looking forward to with this snake energy and with all of this Taurus energy, or reach out to us just so we can take a look at your chart to help you get through it.
Yes.
Okay, you pulled a card
Love
for
that.
us.
Pulled a card. I love this deck. So I used the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed.
Mm,
Love this deck. But this
yeah.
is the Gentle Gardener. And if you can
Mm,
see this image, there's this beautiful grandmother figure up in the sky looking down on all of these little eggs, and little fairies are hatching out of them, and she's making sure they're safe. The Gentle Gardener is all about taking care of the seeds that you've already planted.
mm,
Take care of you, take care of your family in a very gentle way. There might be some pretty volatile energy coming during the month of May. So just
yeah.
allow yourself to gently move through what you need to move through and take care of the projects that you've already started.
Mm, love that. Thank
Me
you.
too.
Anything to
Thank you.
to end on besides that?
No, I think
Okay.
that's good. Oh, I do have my monthly class.
Hmm.
My it's about all of the 12 Chinese zodiac animals. It's on the second Tuesday of every month. We'll leave the link below. Um, and also, I am launching my. I'm so excited about this. I'm launching my apprenticeship program. It's a 4 month long program where you can learn to read your own Western natal astrology chart.
Perfect. Ah,
Doors are going to be
finally.
opening toward the end of May, so go to my website, sign up for my newsletter so that you can get updates
Hmm.
on how that's all going to be launching and what you need to do to get in. I'm going to be limiting it to 8 to 10 people, so
Oh, good.
stay tuned. Stay
Hmm.
tuned for more information.
So exciting. Congratulations.
Thank
And for
you. And
anybody that signs up to learn under you, I mean, holy smokes. If you get picked to be the 8 or 10, you're lucky.
thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And then we also have some exciting news.
Do we? Huh?
Yes, I think we do. I think we do.
We do. Uh-huh.
Okay, so we've been working hard on a new project that we're birthing that actually came from what we've been doing with these monthly updates. But we're starting a podcast, and it's called Everything Energy with Tina and Jeremy. And we're going to be covering everything from astrology to rituals to witchcraft to any kind of modality out there, human design, numerology. We're also going to have special guest hosts, interviews. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We've already started filming it and we're having a blast so far. So,
Yeah. So watch for the link. We're sending it out soon.
yep.
Giving you guys, a take. It's some of it's raw, some of it's really, we're being vulnerable and we're just kind of putting ourselves out there. We're just really like trusting in the universe, trusting, I couldn't do this without you, Jeremy,
Neither
honestly.
could I.
And so I'm
Why
so
I haven't.
grateful.
This is why I haven't done it so far. So yeah.
Yeah, we're holding hands here, and
Hmm.
just getting such great support. And we're super excited to get your feedback and your
Yes,
ideas because we want to feed off of what you want as
please.
well. So we'd love for you to be a part of it. And we're
Mhm.
coming up with some creative ways in how that can happen. So, yeah,
Yeah,
let us know what you're interested in. And if we don't know how to talk about it, we'll bring somebody in who does.
exactly.
Okay, well, here we
Exciting.
go. We just
Okay,
announced it. It's for
we
real.
did it. It's official. It's
No turn,
happening.
no turning back. Happy
No?
May, everybody. We love you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.